What's up, YouTube? We back with another video.
Back with another one for y'all. We talking about our load from Texas to Colorado. What city was we in?
In Colorado?
Yeah, I know we was in Colorado.
We was in Dublin, Texas. Or
Dublin, Texas.
Stevensville, Dublin, Texas.
Stevensville, Dublin, Texas to Ouray, Colorado.
Yeah, Ouray. Not the A, it's O.
Yeah. So, this load, it took us one day to get. We were in Texas, as you guys know. We had dropped off that household goods load. We went back to the hotel. It was a little late for us to get a load that day. However, we didn't have a problem getting a load the very next morning. Mm-hmm. So that morning we woke up, normal routine. We always wake up about 5 a.m. and hit the load boards.
Yes.
Or, I think we even might have waited till about 6 or 7 since we were in Texas. And I know I like to be on there around 5 a.m. California time. So we got on there. We hit the load boards. I was on truck stop. My lady was on DAT. And we started negotiating with different people trying to get these loads up out of there. We were almost going to stay local.
Yeah, because we did end up staying in Texas one day because we couldn't. We was trying to find a load after we had dropped off to that ranch, but we didn't get anywhere. So we did stay overnight one more time. And then, we got up out of there. But yeah, he was on truck stop. I was on DAT. Yeah, we've seen a lot of local stuff in Texas. There's a lot of stuff in Texas. But, you did. He found some, y'all. He found some.
Yes, I did. I found a few things, actually. There was a couple guys calling me back and stuff like that. So I had to Texas was pretty good to us.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I had a few options. I ended up getting in touch with this guy. I think he already had it listed for $2 a mile, maybe a little less, but I know we ended up on $2 a mile. If the negotiation really didn't go too much further after that, he said, I think it was either some extra freight that he had, but it was, pretty easy. And the dock was not like a regular dock. They closed early because remember we almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I think the dock closed at like 2-day time or something like that.
Well, okay, it wasn't a dock. It was just, I don't know what it was. It was like it reminded me of like a steel scrapping area.
Yeah.
Like, there was a whole bunch of metal stuff everywhere. They had some cool designs made out of metal in their yard. It was really nice. But I guess they stopped loading trucks at a certain time. It was, 2 or 4?
Yeah, it was something early. I feel like it was 2 because when we first got there, or when we first went there, the GPS took us 20 miles off track.
The GPS took us to a whole different location. And, we get there, we getting out asking the people, is this blah, blah company? They're like, no, they didn't even know. They're like, I think it's over there on the corner. Like, what? No, was nothing over there.
Had to call the broker like, and then I'm really mad because I'm like, man, they about to close. So, and then he told us, like, they real strict. They're not going to accept anybody after a certain time. So, I'm like, man. So, then I'm like, let me just call the place. Because it also said from the broker, like, when I filled out the carrier packet, it had a lot of specific information, like, about not contacting the shipper and stuff like that. I've had loads like that before, but it wasn't as strict of language like he had in his. So, I called him to make sure it was okay that I contact him. He said yes. I contacted them. They asked where I was at. I could hear the agitation in his voice. Mm-hmm. I'm telling him like, hey, I'm over here. I'm close. Please don't, leave, da-da-da. He's like, okay, I'm going to wait for you. This is how you get here. So finally, after that whole debacle, we get there. When we get there, he guided us in. His directions were pretty accurate. And then we pulled up. I can tell that they were definitely closed, and they waited on us, so I appreciated that. And we pulled up, and they began loading us. As they're beginning to load us, it was like a process. They had 2 giant forklifts.
It was a big water tank
Huge.
It was like a big empty water tank. It didn't have anything in it. It was just a huge silver water tank on a wooden pallet. And they had 2 forklifts. One was holding it up, and then the other one came from behind it and pushed it in. That's how it was. So one was right here. The other, he was holding a water tank, and the other forklift guy came in and pushed it into the truck.
They were having me move a little bit too, like, all right, back it up, stop, do this. So
I felt like originally they probably wanted it for maybe a
53,
flatbed.
yeah.
So they could just set it on top. But, you know, they had to do some extra stuff to slide it in. I'm sitting in the car's shaking. You could feel everything moving. I'm like, everything good?
I know. I had to put the e-brake on, but we was on like some gravel or something anyway, dirt. So that didn't work. The whole whip slide. I'm like, oh.
Even with the e-brake, we go for it.
Right. You're like,
I'm sitting in the truck. We like.
We don't put this rental through something, y'all. So I'm like, listen. And then y'all know me, like she said, I think it was for like a 53 or a flatbed or something. Yeah. But y'all already know me. I'm trying to get freight, so I be booking whatever. As long as I see the dimensions add up, put that in my truck. Let's roll. Stop playing. So they finally get it in there. I'm looking at them like, hold on, where my BOL? They're like, BOL? They're like, call John. They get on the walkie-talkies. They get the call on them. I'm like, all right, yeah, because I ain't moving without that. So they go get it. He comes outside. What is he doing?
For one, they was like, we got to go back to the office and print it out. So they had to get in the car, drive all the way back to the office. So that probably took like maybe 5 minutes. He was kind of a heavy set dude. So when he pulled up, he was playing around and getting out the car. I'm like, what is he doing?
Like, then he called me like, can you lift up the thing? I'm like, get your big ass up there, lift it up. But no, he didn't lift it up. So I'm like, all right, man. So I'm like, I climb up there, I lift up the thing. He's like, all right. So he's like, I gotta take a picture of it to make sure it's not touching this wall, touching that wall. I'm like, all right. So he take the pic. He's like, okay, I shut the thing, I shut it. He signed the bill. He signed, print, date, and phone number on the BOL, gives it to me. I'm like, okay, I get in the car. After we lock up, you know, we always put the lock on our freight, make sure, you know, no issue. So we lock it up, we get in the car, and then as I'm backing out, I see he on the ground now. So I'm like, damn, did I hit him? So I'm looking, he on the ground. He playing around with his car. I don't know if he like trying to do an oil change in the middle of the, I don't know what he was doing, y'all. He on the ground. Now, mind you, he had a little car. He had like a smart car or something.
Yeah, like.
He had like a smart car in the car all the way on the ground. So I'm like, what is he doing, babe? Look at him.
I think I don't know if it was something with his tire or what. I have no idea, but he was playing around.
Yeah.
And his little butt crack was all out. I'm like, is he serious, dude?
Man, I'm like, so I'll fly up out of there. Like, all right, let's go. I get up out of there. We were already fueled up because we had fueled up before. Yeah, we fueled up before, so we were already good to go. We were ready to hit it to Colorado. Now, as we're going through Colorado, we go out of Texas. We go through New Mexico, right? We go through New Mexico.
Yeah, we go back to New Mexico.
Yeah.
I
think just right to Colorado. Yeah. So we weave up and we go right into Colorado. Now, Ouray is on the southwest of Colorado. Mm-hmm. So we're barely in Colorado, but it's right there. Mm-hmm. So we pull up. We had to get a hotel for that night because the receiver was also had pretty standard hours. I think it was 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Close. Yeah. So of course they were closed by the time we got out there. So we wake up.
Look, y'all, at night, though, we hearing stuff at the window, like...
I'm like,
we hearing all type of stuff. We like, is that tank outside popping or what? Was cold.
It was scary. I ain't even gonna lie. It kind of reminded me a little bit of when we was in Montana, like the environment and stuff like that.
With
like,
the move show? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so like, you know, this was wild. It was definitely creepy. It was dark. It seemed like it wasn't nobody around.
We was like in the middle of nowhere.
And we seen animals too. What was the animals we
it was a whole bunch of deer, I think, just throughout people's yard. But we was like in the area we was at. It was like a small town, I think. It was nothing. We did end up staying next to a lodge though. It was like a I don't know. It was just a lodge, I guess. It looked pretty. I mean, it had a few people in it, but it looked kind of empty. So,
yeah,
you know, we was in a weird area. He over here like, is that some people outside throwing stuff at us?
Yeah, because we came here, it was like, boom. I'm looking at her like, what was that? She like, I don't know what you was.
I'm like,
man, I heard something. Hey, I heard something, man. So I'm like, somebody messing with the truck? Like, what's going on? So anyway, but other than that, like, the drive was so beautiful, y'all. Like, it was beautiful. I was able to get a little bit of footage, but it was scary because it was a tight road.
And you going through the mountains, and the mountains
very
got
low
the snow.
Clearances. Yes, very low clearances. It was different, y'all, but I loved it. It was beautiful, y'all. It was beautiful. We seen so many like different ski resorts and stuff like that. I mean, obviously it was snowing it was snow all around those mountains.
Yeah.
And yeah,
you know, it was still warm there, but you know the mountains just still had snow in it, which I thought was cool. Cause I'm like, how is it warm, but it's still snow everywhere? Like what? But
yeah. So you know, I mean, like I said, the view was beautiful. Now that morning, we do our daily routine. Y'all know how we do. We wake up, we hit the truck stop, we get everything going, get ourselves together. Now, as we doing this, I'm already trying to book the next load. We're gonna talk about that in the next video, but I'm already trying to book the next load. I'm on it. Y'all know how I do. I'm on it. And I won't touch too much on that, but we're gonna talk about that in the next video. But so you know, we're en route to the receiver, and we finally find a receiver. We get there. I tell her to go in. What happened?
So I'll go up there. The door is locked, so you got to ring a doorbell to come in or get somebody's attention. So I ring the bell. The lady come out. I tell her, like, we're here for a drop-off. I show her the BOL. I'm like, it's a tank from Texas. This is the location it's getting dropped off at. She act like she didn't know what. She like, okay, I didn't know we was getting anything. So she went to go talk to the other girl. They look, and they like, oh, okay. So they finally got everything figured out. She come back outside. I walk down the stairs with her because I'm like, do you want to see what it looked like? Because she was like, well, they had 2 docks. So I'm like, do you guys want us to back up to the dock to try to get it off?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be easy peasy. Yeah. They had a couple of docks.
Yeah, so she was like, I have to see what it looks like first. So I'm like, okay, let's go then. So I go to the back, pop it open so she could see. She's like, yeah, that's a big tank. So she just standing there looking lost. She's like, yeah, that's big. I only have like a small forklift.
Y'all, they forklift legs. I ain't never seen nothing like. I'm looking now.
It was like this, y'all. It was like literally my arm. It was small.
I ain't never seen. And the thing is, we in this big open. So you would think that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no.
Yeah,
no.
So she was like, I have to. So she still have the BOL, and you know, I'm like, okay, she better not go too far because we need that piece of paper.
Yeah, but y'all know we like to turn that in real early. So I even told her, I'm like, hey man, get that from her, man. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of that. I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah, so she's like, I have to go and ask the guys across the street to come help me because once again, we're in a small town. Everything is close together. So I'm like, okay. So I hop back in the truck. She walked across the street to some gentlemen she know over there, and then it was probably like about 5 minutes, and then they all came back, and they pull up in a pickup truck. It was like 5 of them. One of them had a boot on. I'm like, what he doing here? Ain't he work?
He was handicapped.
I'm like, ain't he hurt? What he doing at work? Like, what you about to do? Like, you can't even walk out. You can't even get out the truck. But they all pull up, hop out. He hop out. What was they saying to you?
So when I hop out, you know, she in the truck. I think you was looking for a load or something.
Yeah,
I think she was uploading the BOL too.
Yeah.
So as she's uploading the documents, making sure we get paid, and then on the same time, checking the load boards and stuff, I'm outside the truck trying to make sure that everything is going good because they was sounding all confused, like they didn't know how they was gonna get this handle. So I'm like, okay. So as they figuring that all out, having a powwow. They finally like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So they come up with a plan for me to lift the lift gate. No. Before I lift the lift gate, they pulled it out a little bit. Yeah, they pull it out a little bit. And then as they pulling it out, he tells me to lift the lift gate. I'm like, dang, that's a smart idea. So that way he can pull it out even further. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up just dropping it down. So that's what happens. I lift the lift gate. He pulls it out a little bit further in this other thing that they got, like other forklift or some type of farm material or equipment. So they pull it all the way out. Now as he's holding it, he has it on his end, and then I got it on my end, which is the lift gate. So then we mutually start dropping it down. We drop it down, boom. Then we get it on the ground. He pulls it off my lift gate, and then I roll it back up, and it was time to get out of there. So yeah.
But this whole process for them to get this thing off took about, I want to say, at least 20 minutes, because they was just standing around, I guess, coming up with a plan or whatever. I'm like, what they outside doing?
Remember, they forklift died. They forklift. So he get into the forklift, the little one that they had. They get into it, and it was dead. The dude with the boot, he in it. He like, it's
I'm
dead.
like, you should be at home, dog. Your leg broke.
Right. So he like, it's dead. I'm like, wow, Murphy Law kicking in. One of the brokers that I'm trying to already book the load, he called me back like, oh, it's booked. It took too long. I'm going through the mountains. I can't connect. He sent me the Raycon. I got the load, y'all. I'm hot. I got the load. I'm doing it. Call drop.
We ain't had no reception through the mountains.
No reception. So. Call drop. I finally call him back. He like, oh, I booked it already. I'm like, wow.
So okay. He going through all that. We just got unloaded. We didn't know what to do, so we sat in the parking lot for at least 2 minutes. We found y'all know how we eat all the time, so we found a Denny's or something.
Yeah. Got some fire food for the low.
We found a Denny's, so we drive to Denny's. We bring all our stuff in, try to find the load, and.
Yeah, we're gonna tell y'all a little bit about that experience in the next video. But as far as this $1,500 load from Texas to Ouray, it was quite the experience. It was easy money. I wish we would have went somewhere else though. You know what I'm saying? I wish maybe we would have kept it local for a while, or maybe at that time our Amazon score was cool. Maybe we could have did Amazon, or maybe we could have went all the way back west. I think that's where you was trying to go anyway. Or even south.
I really kind of wanted to go back east.
Yeah,
I wanted to do something long.
Yeah. So even though this one was $1,500, it was like, y'all know how we is. We be trying to look for them real long, big, good loads. So in hindsight, everything was cool at the time, but I really, wish we would have did it better, and got some more money. But this load was successful. Another $2 load, $2 mile load, or if not, probably more. I don't know. I got to look at the exact miles, but it was cool. Everything was perfect. Like I said, the view was great. We really got some good scenery. Of course, we ate okay for the options that they had out there. And as soon as we dropped the load off, we went to go eat, and then we kept it pushing. So stay tuned. Definitely.
It was all mountain view. It was scary though on that box truck on these little skinny. The roads are skinny, and some of them didn't even have. Most of it, I'm not gonna say some. Most of the streets that we were on didn't have the rails on the side, so you got to be careful because you just falling off. There ain't no little guardrail, nothing to push you back.
And there's no way you could turn around.
Yeah.
I remember, what was that clearance? Remember how it was low? Cause
it looked low, but I think it was like 15 or something. It was your average size. It was average. Low. It looked low, but yeah, it was cool. I seen it. I remember. I think it was like maybe 15, like most of the bridges is.
And then picture like you in a box truck going down you in the middle of these mountains, no guardrails, and then it's a semi coming up. That's what kept happening. That I was like, man, hold on, because when a semi drives past that box truck, your whole box truck shakes. Especially if they flying.
Yeah, if they're going fast, but everybody going slow around the mountain, so it was cool. I mean, you got the regular cars just flying through, but that's just them. They probably from that area and they done drove that multiple times, so.
Yeah, no service. Our music had cut out in Texas, y'all. We ain't had no music. Yeah. I'm like, man, what's going on? But we made it work, you guys. We really did. So, that pretty much wraps up.
Yeah, that wraps up Texas to Colorado.
Wraps up Texas to Colorado. We appreciate y'all watching. We've been having some upload difficulties. I don't know what's been going on with our YouTube. Yeah. But hopefully I can get this out there and put out to y'all. And stay tuned. We got a lot of content. We're going to spam y'all with a lot of content these next few weeks. We are on the road to 10K, you guys. Road to 10K. Mm-hmm. We should be at 6K pretty soon. Yep. And that's all with the thanks to you guys. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell, you guys. That's the type of stuff that gets our content out there to everybody. So maybe we can go viral one day, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Have 20.
Go viral again.
Yeah. So, So, and little stuff like that, man. If you guys really rock with us, man, I really appreciate everyone who interacts. Like I said, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we got some more content for y'all coming up soon. So
stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned, y'all. We're checking out the box. We out.
Peace.